Alright, what's up guys? Toasty here, Get Burnt Today. I'm going to be talking about this comment that I got on my video like yesterday, and I'm going to be talking with a few special guests. You want to say your guys' names?
Why the fuck you calling me special, son? Hello, my friendly guys. My name is Omega Pro, and hi, I guess, or something.
And the other one? Come on.
Hi, I'm Dino, and I make videos sometimes.
Hold on, I have a question. Why are you Rhymestyle and Dino? I don't know. Why is this?
Dino's my real name.
Is it? Oh shit! All right.
Yeah,
well,
Dino's my real name. Dino's my real name, and then Rhymestyle's my internet name, and then people call me Dino Rhymestyle. I'm like, whatever, just pick one.
All right, so let's get to the actual topic. So somebody commented on my video talking about comparison between Tenkaichi 3 and
let me
Xenoverse
just say before you continue, the real Sasuke Aizen comments on Toasty's video. The real one.
Sasuke Aizen.
Sasuke. Wow, I mispronounced it.
Bro, didn't even watch Bleach. I'm done with you. No, but all right. So he pretty much said he named a few things that were wrong with Tenkaichi 3 itself, and then he said what's kind of fixed in Xenoverse compared to Tenkaichi 3, because somebody said, oh man, why can't they just make Xenoverse like Tenkaichi 3? Man, this is an outrage. But then he said, well, first of all, Tenkaichi 3 has characters that are kind of copy and paste, which everybody knows. Budokai Tenkaichi 3 really just copy and pasted a bunch of its characters. Most of the time, most characters, there are some characters that are different, like heavy characters like Broly and stuff, but like in general, there are a lot of characters that do fight the exact same.
Essentially, there were like 5 characters in the game, and then between 100, how many was 164 people in that game? Between 164 characters in the game, or whatever the number is, those 5 fight styles will split with all those people. So essentially, even though there was a massive roster, it was really only 5 characters.
Yeah, everyone fought the same way. It's just that it seemed different because they had a different like way of fighting. Like maybe like Ultimate Gohan would have a different way of fighting than Vegeta, but honestly, they would still be the same character pretty much. So that explosive wave spam, which is really annoying in Tenkaichi 3 because it takes up so much space. Sways were cheap and easy to pull off. That one kind of is a little bit blank to me because I really don't know that much about its combat system in depth. 4 mix and match combos were kind of impossible just to pull off one imprinted combo after another, which is kind of true.
And they're also annoying. Can I just point out that stupid ass, dumbass combo with second form cell? The life drain one, where it's like you punch somebody, you do a life drain, and then as soon as they recover, you do it again. You could literally loop that attack over and over again. It was like the most impossible and annoying thing to fight against. Oh god, this game makes me so mad sometimes. It just brought back some angry college memories.
A lot of the fucking characters in Tenkaichi were actually like copy pasta.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that like of course it's not a great thing because obviously that's how it is, but a lot of people did prefer to have more characters even if they were all the same. I'm just saying that for me personally, I just didn't like that.
Hey, you want to play as this character? Here's a fucking full power energy wave. No, oh my god, I fucking hate that.
That's exactly why Yajirobe was actually one of the most overpowered characters in the game, because essentially it was the same character as 1,000 other, or 20, 30 other characters in the game. Which, by the way, actually, Yajirobe is the most OP character in the game because he had a stupid ass sense of being special.
Yeah, and then for the last one, he said that he has to stress how the formulaic cookie cutter combos, which is really true. A lot of the combos, especially when you're like knocking somebody away or anything like that, they're all the same when they come to every character, no matter what kind of character they are. They're all pretty much the same kind of combo. And he was just talking about how Tenkaichi 3 is also just not really balanced. A lot of the characters are a lot more powerful than others, and obviously a lot of people would think that's fine because it's kind of being realistic to how it would actually be in the show. Like, obviously Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is not going to be able to be easily beaten by Krillin, but it is still imbalanced. And obviously if the game had multiplayer, which it did on the Wii, but I never played on the Wii, so I don't know how it is online, I think that it would probably be extremely annoying to have to fight Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in every single match that you go into. He said not denying Tenkaichi was fun because it was.
Yeah, I would say it's still one of my favorite games of all time. The game was just flashy and fun to watch, but it was the most broken game ever made. Because like the thing that makes me excited about Xenoverse is they don't have those stupid ass cutscene attacks anymore either, which they look pretty. But if you think about it, if you look back at the times we all played Tenkaichi, like how annoying was it to just keep getting looped? Like I said with the whole second form cell thing, how annoying was it to just keep getting looped into the cutscene attacks? We can't do nothing about it. At least this time, when someone like does a cell life drain style attack on you in Xenoverse, you can dodge out of it if you're good enough.
Yeah, and then he said obviously RB2 and BT3 are kind of similar, but he enjoyed RB2 a little bit more. And he says why Xenoverse seems to be like a real fighting game in terms of its mechanics and how it's more fair and more balanced, because the person who commented before was saying that they don't see how Xenoverse is balanced compared to Tenkaichi 3. And he said combos drop if the player misses the timing for it, requiring actual skill, meaning that if you want to dodge an attack, you actually have to time it. You can't just just hit the controller and then instantly dodge. Race and Z-Soul benefits for tactical combat, which they are actually extremely important, those items.
Can we talk about Z-Soul for a second? Because not many people have covered it. Z-Soul, I think, is going to be a great addition to the game, because like what Z-Soul is to me, from the way I see it, Z-Soul is like the dramatic cutscenes in Burst Limit, but there's no cutscenes, and it won't be annoying to use. Whereas when certain events happen in a game, it triggers your character to become stronger. So based on what you have equipped for your character, Z-Soul wise, you can actually really use that to your advantage, whether it's getting like full key when you really need it and like pull out a super attack, or when you
getting a little bit of health when you have
when you
like
gain health when you're low. Like Z-Soul is going to be essential for winning battles, and this is why I love Xenoverse so much and why I'm so pro this game, pro Dims, pro Bandai Namco right now, is because they're giving us a game that's going to be actually very, very like strategic fighting based style. I don't know what to call it. Like, it's going to require actual strategy to win these fights, rather than just, doing the same freaking combo over and over. It's not even a combo, but doing the same, like, rush attack, blast, spam, attack, like in Tenkaichi. Like, this game is going to require you to explore every aspect of the game to win, based on which race you choose, based on which attacks you equip to your character, based on whether you have a transformation or not, based on what Z-Souls you have, even certain
items. Gender, too.
Yeah,
gender
like,
also
gender
matters.
roles. Like, this game is going to give us a full-out, like, amazing fight system, that this game is going to be more than just a fighting game. Like, essentially, it's you in the game. This is us as freaking Z Warriors, or whatever you want to call it, whether you're a Frieza soldier or whatever. This is us being in a game, playing how we want to play, winning how we want to win. Like, the limits here, there are no limits. It's limitless. There's just so many things you can do in this game, and this is why I'm like so excited and hyped for this game. Like, this isn't false hype. This isn't false hype at all.
Also think about it this way as well. Remember how the RPG system, you would upgrade certain stats for your character, like defense or offense, or a certain way of, like, I guess, special attack or actual physical attack and all that stuff. When you change that, and if you combine that with your race as well as your Z-Souls, you could do a lot better in battle than you would without doing that. So it does actually come into it that you will need a little bit more skill in terms of actually planning for your character, instead of just, giving everything to attack and start fighting.
And what I was going to say is, it's also just to point out, just to show you like how much you actually have to think about when you play this game. When I played the Japanese beta, I won 2 matches out of like 70 that day. Like, literally, I kept losing all day because I ignored stats, I ignored items, I ignored everything. I just wanted to jump in the game and fight and basically use my button mash, because it was like the first day we had the game, or first time we had the game, so I was just literally button mashing. But I was trying to button mash to win, and I couldn't win at all. And then the second time, when the English beta came out, I knew what I was doing. I knew that it was like leveling up. You can level up stats, you can equip items, you can use Z-Soul and all that stuff to win, and it made me do a lot better, to a point when I actually played the second time, I think I won like 95 matches out of 100.
And then the next thing he said, go ahead.
No. I want you guys to finish, because I have a thought about this whole thing, and just go ahead.
Well, say your thought now.
Well,
say your thought now.
Might be a little bit longer than I expected. As I snorted a line of cocaine right there.
All right, then I'll just finish. He has only 2 more points. All right, and 3 more. And he said mix and match combos and playing as different characters actually doesn't feel the same like it does in Budokai Tenkaichi. Like, playing as Piccolo and playing as Tien are 2 completely different play styles and different experiences, that maybe one will suit your play style a little bit better than the other. Like, Piccolo is somewhat of, even though he's close range, he still does better with long range because of his long arms. So his actual combos would work a little bit better with someone who's into that sort of style. Tien is somebody who does a lot of quick combos up close, and then a lot of his attacks, like Tri-Beam and all that stuff, are somewhat long range that usually are done from above. So,
and also just to point out, Bandai Namco themselves and Dims have said that they want to create a game where every character is unique to that character. Because actually, remember Burst Limit? Wasn't Burst Limit the only Dragon Ball Z game ever to come out that featured separate characters? Like, each character was their own. I mean, granted, it had a really small roster. Each character felt like they were their character.
Infinite World before that actually did that as well.
Oh, but that was made by Dims too, so I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
Infinite World
the point is,
and Budokai 3 kind of, but not as much as Infinite World.
The point is, Spike copied and pasted, whereas Dims actually took time out to build a game. And what's funny is I just found out that Burst Limit was never finished. The reason why Burst Limit felt so unfinished and they only went to the Cell Saga and there were a lot of cutscenes missing, apparently it's because they didn't have enough time to finish it. I never knew that.
Still was one of the best games.
It is. It's actually really good.
Like how do you do that? Except for Broly. We won't talk about that now.
Yeah, it's gonna give me nightmares.
All right. Next thing, there are a lot of options in Xenoverse during battle, like defensive abilities, evasion, and or offensive abilities themselves. So you pretty much the super attacks and other attacks that you can equip on your character are different, and they actually would help you in different ways instead of just all being offense, like the super attacks and all the other DBZ games, like superpower energy wave, explosive wave, which was on a lot of the characters in Budokai Tenkaichi 3. It's actually, there are different attacks, and even I saw this in the actual network test. There are a lot of different attacks and a lot of different things you could choose from to help your character and help your playstyle itself. And I think that's really great. And
also, just to point out, going off of what he said, Toast, did you notice that in the beta, based on which attack you choose, it works differently? So, for example, they had those key attacks that cost 300 points to buy for your character, and those attacks kind of took longer to charge, leaving you kind of a bit open so people could stop those attacks, but they were strong in other attacks. So like a key attack that costs 300 points, if it clashes with an attack that costs 100 points, it wins. So it's like, what do you give up? Do you give up, have instant blast like Double Sunday, or do you want the attack like Kamehameha that takes a little bit longer to charge but does more damage? Like, there's so many options with the attacks. The attacks actually feel different. Like, that's the amazing part about this game, is every attack feels unique, and this is just off of the beta alone.
Yeah, we haven't played the actual game yet, the full game yet, and we're just talking about experiences from the beta or network test, whatever you want to call it. All right, and the last point is that spam would actually put you at a major disadvantage in Xenoverse as seen thus far, which is incredibly true. Spam is not a good thing to do in Xenoverse, not at all. Trying to spam in the beta, honestly, I went up against somebody who literally just only wanted to use Kamehameha. He had nothing else in his arsenal. He just used Kamehameha, and I still won. Because it's so much easier to dodge certain attacks in Xenoverse because of how you jump in Xenoverse. You guys have noticed this, how you like jump in midair and you can actually dodge a lot of attacks this way in certain ways like that. It's like, it's a lot easier to dodge certain attacks. So spamming is not as beneficial as it is in Raging Blast or in Budokai Tenkaichi, which I love because I don't think it's only about spamming attacks.
On top of that, if you're blasting and you miss, you're wide open.
Yeah.
If you miss a key attack, you're gonna get hit. Just prepare for it. So don't spam in this game.
All right.
But
so
Omega, go ahead, take the mic.
Oh, hello everybody. Okay, so now before I say anything that I'm going to say, just know that I do believe Xenoverse is going to be amazing. All the hype I have for it is legitimate, like Rhymestyle was saying. I think this game is going to be absolutely amazing, and I think it has potential to be one of the best, if not the best, Dragon Ball Z game we've ever had. That being said, the claims of this being like a real fighting game or anything like that, I think are outlandish claims. I think people that believe that are reaching way too far into this, because there's so much shit that goes into an actual fighting game. There's no way Xenoverse can do something like that and remain casual. You're either choosing one or the other at that point. And I think Xenoverse needs to remain casual at the very least, for people to just jump in and have some fun, which is what you can do with Xenoverse. Obviously, there are skill gaps. Obviously, with this game, this is looking like the most skill required game, I guess you could say, in the Dragon Ball Z universe. I think you can say that this game is closer to a real fighting game than any other Dragon Ball Z game, but to call it close to a fighting game, I think, is sort of robbing the credit from actual fighting games. Because you take a look at games like Street Fighter, we have to be frame perfect all the time. You take a look at games with like Mortal Kombat, where you can string together combos. They have, little 2, 3, 4 button whatever inputs, and you can string together combos. You can do like infinite combos. You can do all this crazy shit, and everything just sort of depends on not only your skill but your timing and your framing and all that stuff. And Xenoverse does have that, but it's to such a smaller degree that I don't think you can consider that an actual fighting game. Again, Xenoverse is looking like the most the best Dragon Ball Z fighting game. It's looking like the one that's closest to requiring a lot of skill. But again, I think calling it anything more than an in-depth Dragon Ball Z fighting game is kind of wrong. I think at the best level will find some stuff to do with this game that'll make it a fighting game similar to Smash Brothers, where anybody can come in and have fun with Smash Brothers, and then people can get really competitive with it. I think that will be the best case scenario, but calling it a fighting game, I think, is not right. And another thing to go on to this is saying that different characters feel different from each other. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I don't think that's true. I don't think there's going to be, I don't think using Goku or another character like him is going to be that different. Now, when that information came out about the created characters, where it said how each character has like their different things, like the interference and all that stuff, I think that stuff, I think each character is broken down into those subsections. So like when you're playing a character in that subsection, it's going to feel similar to a character in that similar subsection. So like, let's say for example, you're playing as a Namekian. I think if you're playing as a Namekian, if I'm playing as a Namekian and you're playing as a Namekian, they're going to have sort of the similar playstyle, and you're going to feel the similarities. The differences will come in, of course, at how you play the game in general, as well as you know, the supers and stuff like that you choose to do. Now, customizing the supers and doing all that other stuff, that right there is where a lot of the strategy comes in. And I agree that a lot of that stuff is strategy, but at that point, does that not leave things up to chance? So if I go into a battle with, you know, Kamehamehas and fucking shit like that, and then you go into a battle with something that counters that, does that not break it down to a rock, paper, scissors kind of mechanic at that point? Are we just going to sit there and counter each other's movesets? That's not how fighting games work. How fighting games work is you have this character, and there are counter matchups, sure, but that's why you can learn more than one character. That's why in this game, I guess you can also argue that you can put on more than one super, but so can the other character. You know, there's not enough there, I don't think, to really add that much depth to make this like a real fighting game. Again, I'll just reiterate, I think that Dragon Ball Xenoverse does require a lot of skill. I got my ass beat, that I won't lie. I sucked dick at that game. You can suck at that game. You can be good at that game. That doesn't give it enough depth to make it a traditional fighting game. I like what it's doing. I think what Xenoverse is doing is what Xenoverse should be doing. I don't want it to go into like Street Fighter and be frame perfect and shit like that. I don't want that from a DBZ game. But I think, you know, people saying, you know, they want to get like competitive with this or something like that. I mean, you can, but I mean, at the basic level, people need to understand that there is a difference between the Street Fighters, the Mortal Kombats, you know, the Blaze Blues and stuff like that, and the Dragon Ball Z fighting games.
You know, you actually make a really good point, because the one thing that Bandai Namco, I guess whoever was developing DBZ games, has always struggled with is figuring out the line between a fighting game and a casual game. Because what happened with the early games is a lot of people complained that the games were too complicated to play, which is why when Raging Blast came out, Ultimate Tenkaichi, it became, or Battle Z, it became less complex and a lot easier to pick up. So I think Xenoverse is the perfect balance between what they're looking for, where it's like not a complete fighting game, but it's also not a complete like casual game. It's like right in the middle is how I see it.
I mean, it's because, I think it's really because they were able to, since they got the developer back that made some of the hardest games in the series, I think that they were able to get somewhat of a idea for a 3D game that would, I'm not saying at all that Xenoverse is an actual fighting game like Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat. It will never be on that level, because that's just not what Dragon Ball Z games are. Dragon Ball Z games are not meant to be like that. I know though that even though the game will be fun to play, or at least I hope so, it'll be fun to play, but it'll also, if you are someone who's new and somebody who's been playing Xenoverse for a longer time than you has been playing, they will most likely defeat you. And that sort of thing can even happen in other games like Raging Blast or BT3, because, you know, that's just experience, and that's also just
that's some
knowing
bullshit.
what
Listen.
No. You have not fought online on RB2.
Let me say what I'm gonna say, okay? I'm taking shots at fucking Kagi. Kagi films on YouTube, little bitch. Okay, so let me fucking say this shit, okay? So we're sitting here, right? He's doing a tournament on his live stream. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go in there, I'm gonna fuck some shit up. I'm winning every tournament back to back, right? I go up against this guy. He uses fucking Krillin, right? In the fucking final match, it's me versus Kagi. This fucking guy in his Wild Sense or some bullshit, whatever the fuck it's called. He beats me. That is fucking bullshit. That game was fuck Raging Blast 2. That game was bullshit. I can't wait to get Xenoverse, and I'm gonna fuck all you up.
That's
Raging
what I was
Blast,
saying. I'm
Blast,
saying
yeah.
if you know what to exploit, then
Raging Blast.
if you know what to exploit, then the game is
Krillin
competitive.
is OP.
Trust me.
Yo, let me tell you about Raging Blast real fast. A lot of people always keep saying Raging Blast is their favorite game, but Raging Blast was probably the most broken and dumbed down game of all of them. Like even though it was better than Ultimate Tenkaichi, in all reality, Raging Blast is the most broken because like it was easier to swat because all you have to do is just wave the stick left and right, and you're guaranteed to always swat.
Everybody
You
always asks me, they're like, "Oh man, how'd you swat the fucking Kamehameha?" I'm like, "I ain't telling you. That's for me to know."
You could exploit with like wild sense and stuff. Like that game was extremely broken. I remember I was playing with a homie, and he's always beating me with Yamcha. He only played with Yamcha because he exploited wild sense. He would always beat me. Like that game
was broken in that game.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah, he would always bust out a spirit ball that did 40,000 damage. I'm like, how the hell did you even do that? Like, yeah, fuck Raging Blast. Like that's how I feel about it. I mean, it's cool, but it's not. Raging Blast is nowhere near the level of what a DBZ game should be. But one thing I was going to point out to you, Omega, was you did mention that when it comes down to fighting, it comes down to really what moves you have. Something you forgot to point out is you also have the RPG factor. As you play the game, you level up and you can add points into your system.
With that.
Well, no, wait, hear me out.
Wait, let me just reiterate that. I mean, I think that's cool for like the creative characters and all that shit. But like, I think like, you know, if a fighting game's gonna be competitive at all, like if say for example, I had money on the line, me versus Rhymestyle, we're throwing down $5 on the line. I don't want that RPG element in there because that shouldn't be in a fighting game anyway. But good.
What I was gonna say is there is a huge difference in being a higher power level than another character. Because like when I was playing the beta the second time around, the English one, I got up to like level 9, and anytime I fought a level 2 or 1, I would literally stand there and take damage and not die. Like literally, I have video footages of me against low levels, and I was literally not taking any damage. And then of course, when I hit them, they took a lot of damage.
Yeah, I remember fighting you. Like I blocked the Kamehameha, and the chip damage did half of my health. I was like, what the fuck?
That's something else to throw in there, because like as you level up, you do have the option to increase your stamina, your health, your attack, your offense. Like you can actually like it has great customizing for your characters, like that right there.
I just hope that they don't force that on. Like I hope I can just like go with my character, just have like base stats or whatever, so that way, like let's say for example, I've been playing Xenoverse for a while. One of my buddies picks it up on the PS4. He's like, oh hey man, let's play. I just created my character. I'm like, all right man, if I'm forced to use my level fucking 58 Saiyan, I'm gonna fucking obliterate him, you know.
But yeah. Other than that, do you guys have anything else to say? This is a pretty long video so far. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It's in my opinion a lot more competitive than any other DBZ game. Maybe competitive with Budokai 3 and Infinite World, but other than those, like all the other 3D Dragon Ball Z games, Xenoverse, in my opinion, is by far the most close to a fighting game that we will probably ever get, and that's I'm fine with that.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is I completely agree with everything that Omega says, because I think you nailed it by saying that this is like not a complete fighting game, but it's also not completely casual. Like it's just right in between. Like the balance that Dimps and Bananamka and whoever has been developing these games the past year has been searching for, they finally reached that point where it's like anybody can pick up and play. You can be good, but it's not a complete like Street Fighter style game. Because for example, if you guys play me in Street Fighter, I don't know if you guys know, but I'm kind of good at Street Fighter. If you guys play me in Street Fighter, you're not beating me. You're not beating me. Like I'll put down like $1,000. You're not gonna beat me in Street Fighter.
See, now this is a challenge on video.
Nah,
yo, Street Fighter 5 comes out, we're all throwing down,
bruh. My Cammy was like a B+, bruh. Which I know there's probably an A rank, so I'm like, I'm an A rank. No, actually, I was stupid good with Cammy. I think my win ratio online was like 80% or something like that. Out of like 10,000 battles, like
broken ass character.
Like before, hey, we'll fight. Do you have Street Fighter?
I have Street Fighter 4 on PC.
Do you not have it on PS3?
Nah.
Damn, I
got lucky. Can you
like
girls 5? Make out later? We are kind of
hey, this is a challenge. You know, you can't just like
No, but we're supposed
but yeah, go ahead.
My Saiyan pride is on the line.
Omega, go ahead and say your final word and then like take us out.
Xenoverse will probably be the best Dragon Ball Z game we've had in a while, and it's going to be hard for every Dragon Ball Z game to live up to it, but I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a great game. I think everybody should be looking forward to it. For people that are skeptical or that are haters, I don't think you're going to get a better DBZ game than this, to be honest. So suck it up, play the game, or fucking move on and play Naruto, where it's balanced. Okay. Anyway.
I'm just saying. If all of you are here are saying make BT4, I'm just telling you, the same company that made BT3 went on to make Ultimate Tenkaichi and DBZ for Connect. Do you want another one?
What?
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
do you want
another one? I don't like Ultimate Tenkaichi.
You're not gonna get if they went bad. They're not gonna go back to being good for just one game just because you want them to. Either accept Zenkai after Xenoverse and be fine with that and be quiet, or just accept Xenoverse and be quiet. That's all you have. That's just what you accept. That's it.
Yeah, so let us know your thoughts. Like, let us, after hearing out basically what we just covered, and big shout out to Sasuke Eisen again.
Sosuke,
please. Damn it! I'll admit, I never fully watched Bleach. I watched a couple episodes, but I never. It was too long. It took me forever to finally get to Naruto.
It was too long.
Nah, but let us know your comments, your thoughts on both games, what you guys think. If you're still hyped, if you're still on the hype train for Xenoverse, if you're excited for the game, you're definitely going to get it in February. Punch that like button, let us know how excited you are.
If you made it to the end of this video, the whole 25 minutes, leave a comment in the comment section along with your comment, leaving your thoughts, saying "Shim Dam Doobly."
Hashtag Shim Dam Doobly. How to spell it? Figure it out.
That's all I'm saying.
And also check out both Toasty.
Also tweet at Kagi. Tweet at Kagi telling him that Omega called him out as well.
Yeah, shots fired.
I want to see if we can spam Kagi to the max.
Also check out Toasty and Omega Pro in the description below.
Hey.
Subscribe to them because they make cool videos and stuff. And also, if you're on other channels and we're new to you, then check out our stuffs too, or don't, or whatever.
Yeah, check out everybody in my description, and I would assume for Omega's as well.
If you don't
forgets to put our names in there,
if you don't check me out, I'm gonna kill you.
Omega's just gonna list himself in his own description. Yeah, check out everybody in my description. Just list himself.
Yeah, I'm a new voice actor. I did a voice impression of ZZ Toasty and Rhymestyle. Check me out.
He did this entire thing by himself. He was even able to talk over himself.
Plot twist. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. We can't wait to see what you guys want to say in the comments below, so we'll see you there.